Golden Dog, hey everyone, it's Eric, and it's time for the Icelandic thing of the day. Today, let's talk about bodháttur, which is the imperative, which, if you're not familiar with that term, is the way of talking about verbs that we use to give commands. Normally we have the indicative, which tells facts, the subjunctive, which tells of possible worlds or imagined circumstances. The imperative is used for giving commands. In English, we have the imperative, which is distinguished in English by not having to actually have a subject in the sentence. I can say, "Go to the store," and it's understood that I am commanding someone, a second person, the you, to go to the store. But I don't actually have to say, "You go to the store." In Icelandic, you do, sort of. And I'll explain that in just a second. So it's very similar to the past tense of weak verbs, which are groups 1 and 2. You might recall that form their past tense by adding a dental suffix, the, de, or t, in order to indicate the past tense. This is because the basic way that you create the imperative form is you take the stem of a verb, and then you add thu, which is you. So literally, if I wanted to say you cook, if I want to order you to cook something, I could say eldathu, which is, cook you. If you want to say listen, hlustathu, hlusta, listen, you. If I'm talking to one person. Icelandic has different forms of you for the singular and the plural, which we used to have in English, of course, thou and you, until you, the plural form, took over, and now we don't say thou unless we're being old-timey. And if that's the case, then you would say eldith or eldithi, depending on. Those are both acceptable. Jon Simon says that eldith tends to be a more written form, and eldithi tends to be a more spoken form. And in both of those cases, you can see that it's the same sort of thing, where hlustith, theth, which is the plural form, the plural second person form of hlusta, and theth, which is the plural form of the second person pronoun. So that's all fairly similar. That's how group 1 works. For all of the other verbs, group 2 and all of the strong verbs, you might recall from previous videos that group 2 verbs, they form their past tense with a dental suffix that changes based on what letter is the final consonant in a stem. So if the final consonant is R, F, or G, it uses eth, th. If it's M, N, L, or eth, it uses D. And P, S, K, T goes to T. So, if I wanted to say segja, which is to say, then that uses eth, so segthu. If I wanted to command someone to show something, sina, that is sindu. So you're still using the the second person, but the eth in thu changes to a d because you just can't say sindhu. It has to be sindu. That's just the way that the pronunciation works. If I wanted to command someone to kiss, it's a kistu. So I believe it's a kiss tu mer, is a kiss me. We did ask how you say kiss me, you fool, but I didn't write down how to say you fool, and for that I am eternally sad. So the good news is that that's the way it works for all verbs except for group 1 verbs. So this is the only place where group 1 verbs are actually different and stand out from all the other ones. So all of the strong verbs, there's no need to do all of the usual complicated vowel changes or anything like that. You just use the stem and look at how the stem ends and use the right dental suffix in order to form it. So koipa, to buy, it becomes koiptu, so you buy, and then you have to have a direct object, so you buy that thing. Yeah, and so on. So imperative is actually quite easy by comparison to a lot of things, specifically in comparison to, say, the subjunctive or to an ablaut series to form the past tense. Really, it's just the stem plus thu or thith. And for everything except for the first group of nouns, you have to make sure that you're using the right form of the dental suffix. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So that's the Icelandic thing of the day for today. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. So, sjáumst.